The Zanari Council had ruled the galaxy for 17,000 cycles, their crystalline spires reaching across 200 star systems. They had catalogued every species, mapped every habitable world, and maintained peace through overwhelming technological superiority. But there was one sector they had never explored, one region marked in their star charts with a simple warning: Quarantine Zone, Extreme Hazard. That was where humanity lived. Commander Bella Chen stood on the observation deck of the research station Prometheus, watching the swirling nebula that concealed Earth and its 73 colony worlds. Her reflection in the reinforced glass showed a woman in her late 30s, dark hair pulled back, eyes that had seen too much. Behind her, the station's strategic AI hummed quietly, processing data that would terrify any civilization that understood its implications. "They're here," Faraz said, entering the deck. He was tall, athletic, with the calm demeanor of someone who had stared into the abyss and learned to stare back. As humanity's chief diplomat for first contact scenarios, he carried a burden few could comprehend. The Zanari delegation. 3 ships, just beyond the quarantine boundary. They're requesting permission to enter. Bella turned, her expression unreadable. Did they say why? They've detected energy signatures from our recent tests. They want to know what we're hiding. Faraz pulled up a holographic display showing the alien vessels, elegant and powerful. They're threatening to classify us as a hostile species if we don't comply. Hostile? Bella repeated, a bitter smile touching her lips. If only they knew. The truth was, humanity had never intended to be mysterious. When the colony ship Endeavor had stumbled through an unstable wormhole 2 centuries ago, they had simply been fleeing a dying Earth. What they found on the other side changed everything. The planet they named New Prometheus wasn't just habitable. It was a graveyard. The ruins there belonged to the architects, a civilization that had mastered technologies beyond anything the current galactic powers could imagine. And humanity, desperate and resourceful, had reverse-engineered it all. Quantum tunneling, matter compression, reality anchoring, and most terrifyingly, the Cascade Protocol, a weapon system that could collapse the quantum foam of space-time itself, creating a chain reaction that would tear apart solar systems. "We can't let them see what we've built," Bella said quietly. "The Council would either try to destroy us or enslave us for our technology. Either way, billions die." Faraz nodded, but his jaw was tight. "So we continue hiding? The quarantine won't hold forever. Every test we run, every ship we launch increases the chance they'll discover the truth. Then we give them a truth they can accept." Bella activated her command console, pulling up files that glowed with red security markers. "We show them the ruins. We show them that we're archaeologists, not weapons manufacturers. We reveal just enough to satisfy their curiosity, but not enough to reveal what we've actually accomplished. And if they push deeper," her eyes hardened, "then we show them why humanity doesn't get pushed." The Zanari delegation arrived 2 days later. Ambassador Kelthris was impressive, standing nearly 8 feet tall with skin that shimmered like mercury. His entourage included scientists, soldiers, and telepathic observers meant to detect deception. They moved through the station's receiving bay with the confidence of beings who had never been truly challenged. Faraz met them with protocol-perfect courtesy, Bella at his side. The tour was carefully choreographed, showing research labs where human scientists studied architect artifacts, medical facilities where they treated radiation exposure from unstable ruins, and agricultural domes where they grew earth crops adapted to alien soil. "Fascinating," Kelthris said, his translated voice carrying harmonics that suggested deep analysis. "Your species has made remarkable progress for such a young civilization. But these energy signatures we detected, they suggest technologies far beyond simple archaeology." Bella met his multifaceted eyes without flinching. "We had a breakthrough 6 months ago, a power generation system based on architect principles. It's unstable, sometimes releases uncontrolled bursts. We're working to stabilize it for our colonies." It was a lie wrapped in truth. The power system existed, but it powered something far more dangerous. Kelthris circled her slowly, his telepathic observers humming with concentration. "I sense you're withholding information. Commander Chen, the Council does not appreciate secrets, especially from species dwelling in restricted space. And humanity doesn't appreciate threats," Faraz interjected smoothly. "Ambassador, we've been nothing but cooperative." We're a young species trying to survive in a dangerous galaxy. The ruins we study are all that stand between us and extinction. Would the mighty Zenari Council really deny us the right to our own defense? The word defense hung in the air like a challenge. Kelthris tilted his head, a gesture that in Zenari culture indicated calculation. What could you possibly need to defend against? The Council maintains order. We protect all civilized species. From external threats, Bella said softly. But who protects us from the Council? The temperature in the room seemed to drop. The Zenari soldiers tensed, their weapons suddenly feeling very present. Kelthris's shimmer darkened, a sign of anger or perhaps fear. That sounds remarkably like a threat, Commander. It's a question. Bella stepped forward, her body language radiating a calm that was more terrifying than aggression. Your council has rules, Ambassador. You investigate, you assess, and if you deem a species too dangerous or too valuable, you act. We've studied your history. 63 species absorbed, 12 eliminated, all for the greater good of galactic stability. You don't understand the complexities of maintaining order across. We understand perfectly. Faraz produced a data chip, holding it up like a peace offering or a weapon. This contains our research. Limited, edited for security, but enough to satisfy your scientists. Take it. Report to your council that humanity is no threat, just survivors making do with ancient scraps, or... He didn't finish the sentence. He didn't need to. Kelthris stared at the chip, then at the two humans who stood before him with the absolute certainty of beings holding cards no one else could see. His observers were practically vibrating with alarm, picking up something in the humans' psychic patterns that terrified them. Or? Kelthris finally asked. Bella smiled, and it was not a comforting expression. Or push deeper, Ambassador. Demand access to our classified facilities. Send your fleets past the quarantine line. Find out exactly what humanity has been building in the dark. But understand this. We didn't survive the death of our world, cross the galaxy, and resurrect the technology of gods just to become someone else's subjects. You would fight the entire council? No, Faraz said quietly. We'd end the entire council. Not out of malice, Ambassador. Out of necessity. Because humanity has learned a hard truth. In a dangerous universe, the only species that survives is the one others fear to threaten. The silence stretched. Kelthris's observers were chirping frantically, and his soldiers had unconsciously stepped back. The ambassador took the data chip with a hand that wasn't quite steady. The council will review this, he said formally. We will respect humanity's boundaries, for now. That's all we ask, Bella replied. Respect. After the Zenari departed, Faraz and Bella stood alone on the observation deck, watching the alien ships retreat beyond the nebula's edge. Do you think they believed it? Faraz asked. They believed we're dangerous. Whether they believed our specific lies doesn't matter. Bella pulled up the station's deep sensor array, showing the hidden construction yards, the fleet of ships armed with architect weapons, the quantum communication network connecting all human worlds in an instantaneous web. They'll tell the council that humanity should be left alone. That we're a minor species with dangerous toys, best contained rather than confronted. And when they eventually learn the truth, Bella thought of the Cascade Protocol, of the weapons that could unmake stars, of the careful plans humanity had laid for survival in a hostile galaxy. She thought of Earth's ashes, of humanity's long journey, of the terrible knowledge that sometimes, to ensure peace, you had to be capable of unthinkable war. Then they'll learn why you don't back a species into a corner, she said softly. Especially not humanity. We've already lost everything once. We won't let it happen again. In the darkness between stars, humanity kept its secrets, and the galaxy, without knowing why, learned to fear the edge of the map where the youngest, strangest species dwelled. Some boundaries the ancient powers decided were better left uncrossed. After all, monsters don't hide in the dark because they're weak. They hide because the light isn't ready to see them yet.